Please welcome Ted Price, President of Insomniac Games, the developer of Resistance 2. Welcome to London.
Thank you, David. So with Resistance 2, we focused equally on 4 areas. These are things we call the 4 C's. Community, campaign, co-op, and competitive. And I'm going to say just a few words about each one. First of all, community. David talked about the importance of community for the PlayStation 3. At Insomniac Games, we believe that every game released these days has to have a strong online community behind it. With Resistance Fall of Man, we began building that community with myresistance.net. Now with Resistance 2, we're completely revamping myresistance.net. We're adding the kind of social features that you'll see in sites like Facebook. Features that, among other things, allow you to find players with similar interests and hook up with them in-game and outside of the game. These features will also be very tightly integrated with the game, and we'll be talking about those more in the months to come. Now, the campaign for Resistance is something I won't be showing today, but I do want to say a couple words about it. This time, we are focusing squarely on Nathan Hale and his story as he travels back to the United States to fight off a Chimeran invasion. We'll be answering more questions about Nathan Hale, who he is, talking about the Chimera and where they came from. Furthermore, we're taking advantage of the incredible variety of settings within the United States that 1950s America offers. What you're seeing here are screenshots from one of our levels set in the redwoods of California. Now with co-op, we're definitely breaking new ground. We have 8-player online co-op with its own campaign, its own story. We have different character classes you can play. We have character progression. We have experience-based persistent rewards. It has a lot to offer. But today, we're going to be focusing on competitive. So instead of talking about it, I'm going to show you some gameplay that we captured just a couple days ago back in Los Angeles. Now please keep in mind, the game is 6 months away from appearing on shelves, so this is work in progress. So for those of you who have played Resistance Fall of Man, you probably noticed that we didn't have any Chimera in this. So don't worry, we will have Chimera in the final game. We haven't implemented them yet, but you will be able to play as a human or a Chimera. Now with Resistance Fall of Man, we definitely broke new ground when it came to sheer size and scale. But with Resistance 2, we're upping the ante once again. We're going from 40 players to 60 players in our battles. Now we're well aware at Insomniac that more players doesn't necessarily mean better gameplay. In fact, it could actually have the opposite effect if games devolve into chaos without organization. So our rallying cry for Resistance 2 competitive has been massive battles, more intimacy. Now, what do I mean by more intimacy? Well, first, I'm talking about battles within battles. Every 60-player battle is actually comprised of 5 smaller skirmishes between squads, where every squad has its own objectives. Definitely helps to keep the battle spread out. But how do these squads know what their objectives are? Well, that's where our dynamic objective system comes in. Every squad is assigned objectives that change as the battle changes. And what's great about this is not only do the squads know what they're doing all the time, it keeps squads spread apart so that everybody isn't stepping on each other's toes. We don't have situations where 60 players are just fighting in one small area. But how do you avoid a situation where a squad may be stuck in a corner of the map with not much to do? Well, this is where rival squads come in. Every squad gets a rival squad. This is another squad that has the same objectives, so they're fighting toe-to-toe the entire time. And when it comes to 60 players in the battlefield, what's great is that there are always 5 or 6 players for whom you develop a really intense hatred. Personally, this is one of my favorite aspects of the game because I know that if somebody cheap shots me from the rival squad, I'm going to be able to find him because basically I'm spawning near him and I know where he's going. So finally, how do we keep squads together? Well, we have a reward system that rewards teamwork. So we give out lots of bonus points when you're actually working as a team. And these can be used to earn persistent rewards in the game, to level up, etc. We'll be talking about that more in the next few months. So bottom line, Resistance 2 Competitive has a lot to offer. With its massive battles and more intimacy, we think it's going to be breaking new ground for the PlayStation 3 and in online in general. But that's just a quarter of the overall game. So as we get closer to launch, stay tuned for more information on competitive, on campaign, on our co-op mode, and on our community.